in this video, we're going to cover basic Japanese candlesticks. So really, there's only really 5 candlesticks you need to know and understand. They're all very, very simple, easy to spot. So obviously, let me just start off with the actual daily time frame, or just the time frames itself. So right now, you can see up here on the daily time frame, we have the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, 8 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. So when you're in the daily time frame, which is what we're on currently, you see how it says 1D, so daily time frame. That means that every candle represents 1 day. Okay, so if I was to go down to, say, the 4 hour time frame, which I'm on right now, so you see I click 4 hours, down here it also says 4H, so 4 hours, then every candle represents 4 hours of price action. So this one candle is 4 hours, this next candle is 4 hours. So you see down at the very, very bottom here, it says 8 a.m. at the very, very bottom of the screen down here. If I go over to the right, it says 12, all right? Down here on the 1 hour, you see we click the 1 hour, it says 1H. Every candle is 1 hour's worth of price action. So every time this time over here closes, it counts down to 1 hour. Whenever that reaches 1 hour, this candle will close and a new one will start, and that will indicate the end of the previous close and the start of a new candle. And same thing for the 15-minute. Okay, so it's really just more information packed into one candle the higher time frame you go. So for example, if I go to the monthly time frame, you can see there's going to obviously be less candles. You can go all the way back to when the chart for this pair first started, which in this case was 3rd of May 1993. Every candle represents 1 month. Okay, so the higher the time frame, the more, I guess you could say, weight it has, as it indicates more price action. But it's also good to understand candlesticks themselves. So let's go back down to the daily here. So I have it marked up with some candlesticks we're going to look at. So as I said, there's really only 5 you need to know and understand. So the first one is a bullish engulfing, which I'm going to go through each one individually. The second one is a bearish engulfing. So obviously a bullish engulfing is a bullish candle, so price is moving higher. We had a higher close than the previous. The second one is a bearish engulfing. So the opposite of a bullish engulfing, it is a bearish candle, which indicates that price closed lower, which I'll show you examples of that. The third candle we're going to cover is a pin bar, which is a bullish rejection candle. The fourth is a what is known as a shooting star, which is the opposite of a pin bar. So the pin bar is a bullish rejection. This one would be a bearish rejection. And then the fifth candle, which is actually 2 different types of candles, but they really mean the same thing, is a doji and or spinning top. Okay, so let's first have a look at the bullish engulfing. So you can see we have a bullish engulfing here. So this candle closed and engulfed the previous candle. So technically this engulfed the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, right? Because it engulfed all of this price action. All right, so all it needs to do is close higher than this. It is considered an engulfing candle. So another example of a bullish engulfing would be right here. You see this candle obviously is very, very bullish, but it engulfed the previous candle. Another example here is this bullish engulfing. Again, nowhere near as big as these two, but it still engulfed the previous candle. So even this one here, this candle right here, even though it's not that big, it is still a bullish engulfing because it engulfed the previous candle. Okay. The next one is a bearish engulfing. So again, just like this one was a bullish engulfing, this is pretty much the same candle, right? Almost the exact same size, but it is a bearish engulfing. Why? Because it engulfed the previous candle, being this one, and even this one, because it is bigger in size, and it is bearish because it closed below where this one opened. Okay, so if this one opened and where this one closed. If this one closed here, all it needs to do is close a little bit below, and it is considered a bearish candle. Okay. Obviously, the color indicates bullish or bearish as well. Another example of a bearish engulfing is this one. So nowhere near as big as this, but it is still a bearish candle because and bearish engulfing. Why? Because it engulfed and closed below this candle here. Here's another example. So this one is not an engulfing candle, but is a bearish candle. So obviously, the color indicates if it's bullish or bearish, which I've shown you in the trading view setup how to set your colors. But because this did not engulf this candle, meaning it did not close lower and was bigger than this candle essentially, it is not considered an engulfing candle. It is still a bearish candle. Okay. Another example. So let's go on to the next one. So a pin bar. So for example, a pin bar, the color doesn't really matter. What matters with a pin bar is the actual wick itself. So for example, here, this is a great example of a pin bar. You see it's a very, very strong rejection to the downside. Even though it was a bearish close, but you can see at one point this whole candle was all the way red, or in this case black, and then filled right back up and closed up here. So at one point before this daily candle closed, this was all the way bearish, but then price pushed all the way back up, showing a bullish rejection. Okay. Even this candle here is considered a pin bar because there's a long wick to the downside. Again, obviously an ideal pin bar has a smaller body, but this is nonetheless a pin bar because it has a long wick to the downside. The next candle is a shooting star. So a shooting star is the exact opposite of a pin bar. So it is a wick to the upside. So a shooting star would be, where is it at? I've highlighted some here. Shooting star is here. So you see this is a big rejection to the upside. So that is a bearish rejection. So a shooting star. This one right here, even though it is a bullish close because it closed higher than where this one closed, it is still a bearish rejection. And you can see price ended up rejecting from here also. Because basically at one point this whole candle and this one were both fully green or blue, whatever color you have. They were full, indicating price was pushing all the way up here. This is why it's always important to wait for the candles to close, because you want to see how they actually close as a confirmation. Another example of a pin bar, actually the third one, the bullish one, is right here, this bullish candle right here. Another example of a shooting star would even be this one. Not the greatest example because it has a bigger body, but it is a long wick to the upside. Even this one here is a long wick to the upside, so a shooting star as well. A perfect example of a shooting star is this one here. Very, very long wick. Again, the body color doesn't matter. It can be bullish, it can be bearish. As long as it is showing a long wick to the upside, it indicates bearish rejection. So at one point, price pushed all the way back up here, and then it closed all the way back down here. So it's always important where price closes. The wicks are very, very important to indicate what price is doing. So this is a strong confirmation that price is going to reject this level and push lower. Okay, and then the last two candles, again, they both are kind of different, but they mean the same thing. So a doji or a spinning top, they mean indecision. So basically it shows low volume in the market and indecision on the bulls and the bears. So in whether price is going to move higher or lower, the currency in the market at that time is the bulls and the bears is the bullish pressure is fighting the bearish pressure. So there's no real movement. They're kind of just moving sideways. It's a consolidation or candlestick, or even a range candlestick. So basically price is just struggling to go higher and lower, or lower, so therefore it's just really moving sideways. So some examples of that: a spinning top here, you can see it's not really bullish nor bearish. It has a spinning. The main difference between a spinning top and a doji is a spinning top will have a bigger body. So an example of a spinning top is this one here, or these two candles. So they have a body, but they're not really pin bars or bearish candles or bullish candles. This one has a bit more of a wick to the downside, but nevertheless it is more of a spinning top because it's not too defined of a wick. Whereas this one here has no body, so it is a doji. Again, they mean pretty much the same thing. They mean indecision, consolidation. And so example here, this candle here is a spinning top. Why? Because it has a small body in the middle. Again, not really showing any bullishness or bearishness. Even this candle here is a spinning top. Again, the colors don't really matter, guys. It's just showing that it's struggling to find direction, or the bulls are struggling to beat the bears, or the bears are struggling to beat the bulls. So basically there's no real confirmation yet as to where it's going. And this one here, you can even argue is a spinning top as well, because although it is a bullish close, it is an engulfing that engulf this. The candlestick is pretty much a spinning top, as its body is very, very even, and it has wicks both to the upside and downside, and doesn't really show much movement, much of a bias in this candle. Whereas obviously this one here, you can see it's a straight bullish candle. This one here, very, very bullish. This one here, more of a spinning top. Why? Because the body is very, very even. The wicks are very, very even, not really showing much movement to either side. Okay, I'll go over one more pair that I have drawn up for you guys on this. So again, same candlesticks. So really, really good examples of doji. So this one in the middle is a doji. This one here is more of a spinning top, and one on the left, more of a doji / spinning top. Again, they really just mean the same thing. Shooting star right here because of the long rejection. Bullish engulfing. Why? Because it engulfed the previous candle, and it closed bullish. Spinning top, this one here. Again, because the body closure in the middle, not really, it's showing indecision, not really showing bullishness or bearishness. And this one here, bearish engulfing, because it engulfed the previous candles. Moving on over here, we have another example of a bullish engulfing. A really, really good example of a pin bar. Again, the color doesn't really mean anything for these types of candles. For the pin bar, spinning top, shooting star, what matters is the actual wick itself. So although this one has a body, it is a longer and very, very obvious rejection to the downside here. So at one point this candle was fully red or black, however you want to have your colors, but then it closed all the way back up here, showing that price was rejecting these price points down here and was going to move higher. Coming to the top here, again, more examples of exhaustion. So whenever I say exhaustion, it literally just means wicks. It means wick exhaustion to the upside or downside. So like for example, this is exhaustion. A really, really good example of exhaustion is this wicks here. See how these are really nice long wicks to the upside, showing that price was rejecting these levels and going to move lower. And then we also have exhaustion here, indicating that price was rejecting the lows, it was going to move higher. Okay. Next example is another spinning top. So right here we have another spinning top, and then finally we have another bearish engulfing. Okay. Again, guys, don't get too confused or too caught up on on dojis and spinning tops, things like that, or just really names. Just understand what each candle means, and over time it'll click as to what you're looking for. And yeah, so really those are the only 5 candles you need to know. There's really nothing else you need to understand. There are some people teach patterns and things like that with candlesticks, like a morning star. It doesn't matter. Okay, we are literally just looking for these candlesticks. Again, this whole course has everything you need to know. You will never need to go elsewhere. This is the easiest and most simplest way to trade. And I'm not going to put any fluff in this course. It's going to be straight to the point with information that you only need to know, no fluff. Awesome. Thanks, guys.